watching 6 WATE TV, Knoxville. Coverage you can count on. This is 6 Eyewitness News, 11 at 11.
Fires have burned nearly 9,000 acres in just one East Tennessee county, and they're not out yet. Good evening. I'm Yvette Martinez.
And I'm Brennan Robinson. State forestry officials say with the rain gone, the forest fires are just as bad as they were before. Nearly every county around Knoxville is battling them. WATE's Mark Ritchie went to Anderson County, where many firefighters get paid nothing for their work.
To stay until the work is done. Mark Ritchie, 6 Eyewitness News.
In addition to the 9,000 acres that have burned in Anderson County, the brush fire on Shields Mountain in Sevier County is now 50% contained, and firefighters there are now going to other areas to help out. They got a little rain yesterday, which helped. Other folks not so lucky.
That's true, but Bob Becker is joining us now from the Weather Lab to tell us, are we going to see any more of that to make the whole area lucky?
We do have a little bit of hope. So we're hoping to get some rain in here, but not tonight. Skies are still pretty clear. And off to the west, temperatures in the mid-40s, 45 from Oak Ridge, 44 in Harriman, 49 from Don Shoemaker and Tellico Plains. To the north, a little colder, Polly Torner, 39 in New Tazewell, Ken Major, 38 in Cosby. So it is a cool night. By morning, temperatures in the low to mid-40s, maybe some 30s to the eastern sections with your sunrise at 7:03. But we do have a big old wet weather system heading our way. We'll take a look at it and tell you when it may arrive in just a few minutes.
All right, now, Bob, we need that. We need that. We're counting on you.
It's looking good.
Good.
Thank you, Bob. Well, only one more full day of campaigning, and the two main candidates are hitting every battleground state they can.
We're covering the 2000 vote. Republican George W. Bush spent the evening in the critical state of Florida, worth 25 electoral votes. He's coming back to Tennessee tomorrow, stopping in Chattanooga, trying to take the 11 electoral votes in Al Gore's home state.
Meanwhile, Vice President Gore hit 3 swing states. He went bowling for votes in Michigan. He also hit Pennsylvania and Wisconsin with 52 electoral votes between them. It takes 270 to win. Gore goes back to Michigan tomorrow. See if he picks up that spare. Nope.
Oh, no, not going to be lucky with that one. The Knox County Commission is set to hold a special meeting Wednesday to review and vote on a proposal for the expanding jail downtown. The question remains, does Knox County really need it?
We have not had a proper intake release center for some time.
So County Executive Tommy Schumpert spearheaded and revamped a proposal for a new $55 million jail and intake center, anticipating a jail bed shortage in 2005.
My premise has been that government should look at things long-term, try not to spend money, and I think unwisely look at short-term benefits.
Opponents say Knox County's jail is only 66% full now, and local crime statistics are down.
I've not had any citizen to say, yes, I think we need this. In fact, my phone calls have been 100% in opposition, and now people are asking, what are we doing and why?
On Wednesday, county commissioners will vote on the new multi-million-dollar jail.
Those people who voted for it will have to be wishing and hoping that crime goes up. They will have to be wishing that the quality of life in this community deteriorates in order to justify their vote.
County commissioners will meet at 11 a.m. on Wednesday, November 8th at the Cindy County building. And a man goes to Disney World and ends up dead.
Tops our look at the South in 60 seconds. Witnesses say the man tried to get out of his boat on the Splash Mountain flume ride at Magic Kingdom today, and another boat hit him, killing him. Police say they don't know why he jumped out. The man was 37 years old.
The man known as Louisiana's singing governor has died. Jimmy Davis passed away in his sleep at his home in Baton Rouge. He was 101 years old. Davis wrote and recorded several popular songs, including You Are My Sunshine. He served terms as governor in the 40s and the 60s.
An Atlanta-based website shows angry drivers they are not alone. The webmaster posts pictures of frustrating moments on the road. One picture shows a car that should not have parked in front of a hydrant. You'll see in a moment. The car creator calls it the Atlanta Roadways Digest, abbreviated to the politically incorrect TARDsite.com, says the site helps vent road rage safely. Well, if you have a child in school, chances are he or she complains about homework now and then.
Tonight in our Children First report, there's word of new research that gives homework somewhat of a failing grade. Here's Clay Thomas.
This is a school night. By this time, your kids are probably fast asleep. But how many times did you ask them today? Do you have your homework done? That work can really pile up. But is it worth it? Children First. I'm Clay Thomas.
For ways to help your children cope with homework, just log on to WATE.com and click on Children First.
Well, the Lady Vols scored 100 points today, and then some.
Scott Finley has the highlights in our quick check of sports. How many was it, Scott?
Well, guys, it was 144 points to be exact, and nearly winning by 100. Lady Vols tuning up with their first exhibition game of the season, and the Hall of Fame coach getting a nice reception. Lady Vols looking like they're ready to take on UConn already. Nice defense here by Shamika Randall. Can't wait to put it up on the other end. Randall looking good today. 18 points for her against a team named Kiev Dynamo. The freshman Ashley Robinson with a jumper. She had 10 points. Tamika Catchings all over the place. The bomb right here for 3. She had 22 points as the Lady Vols roll. 144 to 52.
Talked about some things we wanted to do going into the game, and the team responded, and that's a really good indication when they're understanding what you want to do as a team, and they're committed to doing it.
Lady Vols certainly looking strong for sure. Tennessee Titans go down to the wire today over in Nashville against the Steelers. All the stuff for you from the Music City later on in sports. Also the latest college football polls and the NASCAR guys out in the Arizona desert. Guys, we'll see you later on in the newscast.
Thanks a lot, Scott. That's 11 minutes of nonstop news, weather, and sports.
Still ahead, it feels like fall, but get ready for Christmas.
That does bring in the largest amount of toys at one time.
These bikers are helping some of the less fortunate. We'll show you how.
Plus, from our archives, a candidate who refused to party and why a brand new network called CNN was his friend.
And up next, Bob is back with the rest of our forecast.
Time of the year, another chance of rain maybe late Thursday night and Friday, and then a cooling trend by next weekend. So we'll see how all this plays out on our 6-day forecast. But right now, it looks like the best setup we've had for rain for a long time.
Oh, yeah, it looks like lots of good news.
Let's hope.
We can use
Thanks a lot,
it.
Bob.
Okay.
Thank you, Bob.
On Election Day, Green Party nominee Ralph Nader hopes to break the hold of the two-party system.
Yeah, Ross Perot tried it, and before him, Illinois Congressman John Anderson did it in 1980. Like Nader, Anderson was left out of the debate between the two main candidates, but CNN figured a live TV hookup could bring them together. That's tonight's time capsule from 1980. Here's ABC's Mike Von Fremd.
It was kind of like sparring with your shadow, and perhaps because Anderson wasn't directly involved in the fight, he tried to stay above it.
I feel somewhat inadequate to compete with either Little Amy or the Witch Doctor.
But for the independent candidate, all was not well. At times, he seemed dwarfed by the giant TV screen figures of Ronald Reagan and Mr. Carter. Outside the hall, his staff was outraged that NBC failed to air a 4.5-minute campaign commercial just before the Cleveland debate, apparently because of technical problems. And for some of the evening, Anderson couldn't even tell what the president and Ronald Reagan were saying because cable news had technical problems, at times broadcasting different voices with different faces.
Mr. Ellis, do you have a follow-up question from Mr. Carter?
Yes, Mr. President.
For John Anderson, standing on this stage, talking back to two candidates who obviously couldn't hear him must have been painful. But last night, it was his only chance to try and remind voters that this is not just a two-man race. Mike Von Fremd, ABC News, Washington.
Anderson got 7% of the vote, about 2% here in Tennessee. He declined an invitation to run this year, but still speaks about the need for a viable third party. Well, still to come, have the Vols move back into the polls.
And could the Titans pull out another nail-biter at home? Scott Finley has the answers to those questions later in sports.
And up next, bikers hit the highways, but these Rough Riders have tender hearts.
As governor, George W. Bush gave big oil a tax break while opposing health care for 220,000 kids. Texas now ranks 50th in family health care. He's left the minimum wage at $3.35 an hour. Let polluters police themselves. Today, Texas ranks last in air quality. Now Bush promises the same $1 trillion from Social Security to two different groups. He squanders the surplus on a tax cut for those making over $300,000. Is he ready to lead America?
6 Eyewitness News continues with Brennan Robinson and Yvette Martinez.
Hello, Angels. You are #1 at the box office this weekend. The updated Charlie's Angels brought in an estimated $40.5 million, the second best debut ever, next to last year's Toy Story 2.
Meet the Parents fell to #2 after 4 weeks in the top spot, bringing in a little more than $13 million. And the golf movie, The Legend of Bagger Vance, opened in 3rd place with an estimated $12 million. Final figures come out tomorrow.
Well, if you were out on I-40 this morning, you may have noticed a few bikers.
A few thousand. It was all a part of an effort to put toys in the hands of children. Photojournalist Matt Myers takes us along for the ride.
Toys for the kids.
Today was the 9th year for the toy run with 7,000 kind-hearted bikers.
And it was the biggest turnout they ever had.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. And the Lady Vols looked good today as well.
You can't score 144 points by accident.
You have to score 144 points with a lot of players playing, too, and that was one of the good things about today's exhibition. Show you more on the Lady Vols and how the Titans managed to keep alive their streak at Adelphia Coliseum. And the Vols have been in need of a big playmaker. This guy could be the one. Back to hear from Dante Stallworth in a minute. Dale Earnhardt by 218. Phil Mickelson, your winner today on the PGA Tour. He wins the Tour Championship by 2 shots over Tiger Woods. Who says Tiger can't be beat?
He's fallible. Thank you, Scott. Still ahead, a way to kick off the holiday season with a little bubbly.
It's an expensive way to toast the upcoming holidays.
But it's all right if you're not paying, I guess. That's called sabering the champagne bottle. Napoleon's troops did it to celebrate victories. It's now a holiday tradition at a Denver hotel. That champagne then poured into 6,000 glasses, stacked 2 stories high. How about that? Imagine the headache, though.
Oh, yeah, but
You know how to throw a party.
if you want to celebrate, the weather's a good reason.
That's right. You might want to celebrate some rain coming in. Tomorrow morning will be cloudy, 43 degrees, about